So this were...
And a rhino in the background.
Yeah. So that's a picture of a rhino and me and Terry and Siobhan. And I love it because it has your favorite animal, the rhino, in the background.
Yeah. Oh, you can even go closer.
And the three of your kids. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Nice and close. In fact, let's get a... We'll get a close.
Rhino.
Yeah, go. Let's get the rhino up close. And then us, and then... Gotta get Siobhan up close too. Now also, look at that. And then look at this picture of Siobhan.
Siobhan.
Look at that face. Isn't that gorgeous?
And she died.
She died 24 years ago.
24 years ago?
24 years ago. It was from a car accident. She was driving with her ex-boyfriend Charlie. And Charlie was drinking, and he ran from the police.
Oh, great.
So we lost Siobhan.
She had to die.
And she had to die 24 years ago. We miss her so much, and we mourn her loss. And this is Robin, who lost his sister. We all lost a beautiful angel. And then look at this picture here. Get this one. This one
Siobhan
is
and Inga.
Siobhan and Inga sleeping, taking a nap together. And Inga was very devastated also.
She must have been.
Oh, yeah. And look at this one of Siobhan. She's holding a little picture there. And then
this face.
Look at that. There's Robin. Get less glare. And then this is Inga and Siobhan again. And look at this picture. You're looking at her. She's got that little look on her face.
Those eyes.
Yeah. She looks kind of surprised. And then look at this. This is me and Siobhan.
Got a haircut.
Yeah, look at that. Look right across the bangs. And I don't know. I must have been, like 10 or 11 here.
He's listening to music.
And
That's cute. We got some cute pictures.
These are great pictures. That's you and me. We were into Pete Rose. And this is you acting like Pete Rose because he was a Cincinnati Red. He ended up later becoming he didn't do some good things in baseball, but he was such a good hitter. And is that Peter? Did you say that was Peter Lounsbury?
Sound asleep.
How did you know Peter Lounsbury again?
We were high school friends.
Okay, so you knew him all the way from high school.
Oh, yeah.
In Danbury, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Wow.
Way back when.
That's interesting. You knew him a long time. There's you and Robin. Me at the zoo, I guess. Is that a giraffe?
Yeah.
That's a giraffe. Me and Terry playing chess. And is that
Stanley?
Stanley. And then,
I had a beard.
And then there's you with a beard. And then there's you with pink pants. You always felt comfortable dressing the way you wanted to dress.
Pink pants.
And is that Stan and Kathy getting married
in
here
the patio
at Coronado in the patio, which is just outside?
Look at it. Look at that face.
She looks happy. Yeah, because there's the wall there and there's the little tile thing.
Who's this with the cigarette?
I don't know who that is, but it's Ellen, Bert, and then someone else. And you. And then
that's a cute picture.
Look at that.
She was very photogenic.
She was very photogenic, very, very beautiful. There's her in the swimming pool. And there
Brian's family.
Is your brother Brian and his wife Ermila and Milan. And Milan has visited here. He lived here for a year working for a local company, and he spent a lot of time here in this last year. These are my friends goofing off. This is in Kensington. And these are
Maureen's kids.
Maureen's children. Maya right here sadly passed away just 2 years ago.
She did?
Yeah.
From what?
From childbirth. She had complications
really?
in her childbirth.
Did the child live?
The child lived, and she passed away. It was so sad. She's in my room here, and you can see on the left a Jaws thing because it was 1979 or 80, and on the right it says "We Are Not Alone" because it was a movie called Close Encounters. So rest in peace, Maya. And then there's Urmila, probably with Milan.
Look at Neil.
And there's Neil and me and Terry playing a game with Milan and Maureen's, all of Maureen's kids. And there's more pictures of Siobhan. I miss her. Siobhan and Inga. And I think this is Robin.
That is the greatest photo.
Isn't that great? What's he doing there? Are those eggs?
He just dropped the eggs and he was waiting to see if he was going to be punished.
Oh my gosh. And I think his hand is still a little bit, got some eggs on it.
And then the look on his face.
He's like,
so
did
great.
I confess I did it. And me and Terry and Milan making a sandcastle.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and there's you in your policeman for a couple of years. And then there's Stan and Kathy. And then this picture means a lot to me. Because you know what this was? This was 1986 when you visited for Terry's graduation from high school. And so there's my mom. And I think you hadn't seen her in a long, long time.
Probably not.
And I wanted you to put your left hand on my knee in this picture.
Yeah.
Because it reminded me of a picture where
an old photo.
where you were tickling me years ago, and I wanted to recreate that same picture, and I'll have to find that picture. But Terry's graduated from high school, and I had graduated 2 years ago, and you've got your tie-dye shirt. You must have been into, what was the group you were into?
Dead.
The Dead, the Grateful Dead. And so that's our family reunited 14 years after you and my mom got divorced. And this is in Berkeley in Cedar Street. My mom still lives in that very apartment.
Remember?
Oh, 30 years later. No, this is Berkeley.
Oh,
she still lives in the same apartment. And there's me and my buddy. And yeah. And you know what's really interesting also is that this is. Do you remember the names Ian and Dylan?
That's Ian and Dylan?
Terry and I lived in Napa. You remember that,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
We lived on a farm, on a commune. And it was Skip and Barbara. Do those names ring a bell? Yeah, Skip and Barbara. And Ian and Dylan were two kids that lived with us. And, of course, this is many years later after we lived in...
They grew up.
In Berkeley. They grew up. We all grew up. But if you went back, I don't know, 20 years, we were all little kids running around... on 44 acres in Napa.
I remember.
We called it the land.
Look at those two.
Yeah, look at those two. Stan and Kathy.
Stan and
We'll have to send this video
They
to
must still be
people.
together.
They're still together. They live in Flagstaff. And you know what? Stan just sent a Facebook thing out today. I think every couple days he sends a message out on Facebook.
Really?
And, he's a big supporter of progressive politics and Bernie Sanders and stuff like that. So he's
I haven't seen him for a long time.
I know. We'll have to visit him soon. I'm going to send this video to him. He's a psychologist up at a university in Flagstaff, and so we're gonna visit. And then there's me with a big smile, and Terry's. This meant a lot to me because you and my mom hadn't been in the same room for a long time. So this is the first time that you were all in the same room. And there's a couple more back here that we missed. This is
my
you
and my grandma.
Yes,
That's my grandmother.
Let that go. This is you and me at the zoo in L.A. in 1968.
Look at you.
Yeah. This is 1968. I was a year and a half.
Someone trying to call
Oh,
us?
just let it go. I think Sandy will get it, or we'll...
No one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Dennis, why can't you answer the phone?
Well, I was looking at pictures.
Well, it would just take you a minute.
Well, whoever it is will call back.
Oh, okay.
So this is you hugging me in Los Angeles. I like this picture because it reminds me of those first early days. We all lived in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And then look at this picture. I'm in a wagon, and you're carrying me. You're giving me a ride on the wagon, and it looks like the date is 1968 also.
Yeah.
So there's my mom.
How's she doing?
She's good. She's still a nurse. She's been a nurse for 40 years, and she reads all kinds of personal growth stuff, and is always kind of working on becoming a better person. And so she's wonderful. I love her very much. And then this is a swimming pool in Los Angeles. This is me at the beach.
That's a great picture.
I always thought my chest looks funny here. I've got a little...
You were always making all kinds of stuff.
Was I?
Holes and
Was I? You remember
castles.
me making sandcastles and stuff?
There you are with a Ferrari.
Oh, look at that.
See? There you are in the dirt again.
Am I working on the... Is this me again working in the dirt? So I must have liked sand and dirt. Huh?
Yeah.
And would you often... You'd see me playing with stuff and making little castles and things like that?
You love sand.
Yeah. I remember I sent you a little gift from Napa. You know, it was like rocks and leaves and beetles and stuff like that. That's the picture with the Cincinnati Reds.
There you are asleep.
And then you caught me asleep. That's funny. Who would have thought that we'd be looking at this picture all these years later? And then this picture also is me, I think, in Napa, because we were really into wearing overalls. And so that was Napa. And this is one of the pictures that I was trying to recreate. So this is you, my mom, me, and Terry. And this is does that look familiar to you? Does that yard look familiar?
I remember these photos.
Yeah. This is Mimi's house. Your mother.
Yeah.
It's her backyard.
My grandmother's house.
That's right. That's right. And then your mother lived in it. And this is in Atherton. Does that ring a bell? The town of Atherton. It's right next to Palo Alto.
Yeah.
And so she had oranges. Look at that's. Were you about to say Siobhan? It's Terry.
Terry.
Yeah, Terry and me. And they're looking at me, and your mom, Mimi, lived here. And do you remember that she used to take berries and make jam out of it?
Yeah.
She used to really like preserves, you know? She liked doing that. We already saw those. This is Robin in San Diego, because Terry was going to school down there, and so we went to visit her. This is my camp, Kennelin Camp, where Terry and I went in 1981. And my mom was the nurse at the camp. That's how we were able to afford the camp. Everyone else paid for the camp, but we got in because our mom was the nurse there.
Cool.
That's how we were able to afford it. And me with a beard and goatee. This is the Silver Pony School from Napa that we were a part of. Parker.
Is that Terry?
Hey, that is Terry, yeah.
Wow.
That's Terry and the Nussbaums. These are the three kids that all were kids of Harris Nussbaum, who lived next to us on the land in Napa.
The Nussbaum.
Yeah, we ran into them all these years later. Now you see this girl over here on the left, in the brown?
Yeah.
Her name is Sophie Grunland, and she and I got married when we were in second grade. Now, we were just joking, of course. Yeah. We were doing a second grade. But I changed my last name to Grunland, so my name was Scott Grunland.
That's great.
And that looks like that's Tracy there in the white right here. And Parker. This is me and Terry in 1993.
I remember that photo.
Yeah. And I think, it was 1993, because I think I had just met Alexis. Alexis Humphreys. And